Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. So, just a quick introduction for today's video. You're about to roll into some range footage where I'm shooting, testing the 85 grain, the Speer, boat tail Spitzer, and then the Nosler Partition, the 85 grain. Yeah, 85 grain Nosler Partition. So, testing Hodgdon benchmark powder. I shot 4 groups with each 4 or 5 shot groups with each bullet, and same charge weights. Started at 27 grains of benchmark, went 27, 27.2, 27.4, and 27.6. In the manual, they go up to 28.2 in the Hornady manual. This is their 85 up to 90 grain bullet range, but we just started a little bit lower than that. So our velocities, we didn't collect any velocity data. Probably going to go back and do that after the fact, but I think we can push it a little bit further based on the lack of pressure signs or issues that we saw while I was out at the range. So that's it, rolling into the footage. And then after the range footage, there will be a segment where I kind of go over the groups and a little bit more in detail about the path forward. So check it out. All right, boys and girls. Oh man. So let's see if I can undo this again. All right, so I did a little intro to this video, slightly different than some of the other ones that I've done. You know, sometimes I'll just, hey, we're out at the range, but kind of did a little bit of an intro for this video, and then we just went right into tried a different angle on the range footage. That's just, I shot, you know, 10 shots, so I shot 2 different 5-shot groups. I'm out here testing these are the 85 grain bullets that I'm testing, the Speer Spitzer boattail, or boattail Spitzer point, and then the Nosler Partition. So I'm using benchmark, Hodgdon benchmark powder. And again, I'm the only one down here on the rifle side of the house. So it makes filming and shooting a little bit easier. I probably won't get everything done today in time before the range closes. I need to get out of here. Plus, we gotta go meet the new volleyball coach of the high school. So, got a new coach. Gotta go do the meet and greet for that tonight. So I need to get out of here. But when you guys are watching this, because I won't get this posted on the day that I'm actually shooting the range footage, so it'll be posted a few days later. I'm gonna try to get it uploaded on Friday, but we'll see if that's gonna work or not. So not too bad, not too bad at all. So this is the first group, and I'll explain why this is kind of weird, but so that's the first group with the 85 grain, the Speer, and that's the first group with the Nosler Partition. Good stuff. And we started, I believe, I'll have to go back and double check my notes, because I think in the other video, the last video that I just uploaded, I think I might have talked about the charge weights and all of that. I believe in the Hodgdon data, I think is where I pulled that from, or it might have been the Hornady manual. They have data for 85, 87, and 90 grain bullets all lumped together. And Hodgdon benchmark, it's not the highest velocity powder that you can use, but it goes up to 28.2 grains. I wanted to back off of that just slightly, so I think I started at 27. I believe that's what I did. I think I did 27, yeah, 27, 27.2, 27.4, and 27.6. I'm almost positive that's what I did. So I'm staying 0.6 under Hornady's max for that kind of class, that weight range of bullet. So we'll see how it does. Hodgdon benchmark has been a great powder for me in the past in other applications, so I expect it to be a good performer here. I don't know why it wouldn't be. So let me try to get you guys back on here without messing up the video. There we go. Yeah, sun's starting to go down. It's a little bit warm today. So I won't be able to shoot through everything. I won't be able to keep the barrel cool enough to shoot through all 8 groups, but I'll probably shoot maybe just 2 more groups. I'll shoot another 5-shot group with the Spears, and probably another 5-shot group. Well, I may be able to pull off a couple more groups with each, so we'll see what our time looks like. Because this barrel, this barrel's pretty warm, so, you know, I mean, you're watching the footage. I don't edit any of the range footage, so I mean, whatever time stamp after I shot that 10th shot,
you know, I put 10 rounds downrange, you know, pretty quick succession. So that's why we're not going to be able to get through all of this today. Just don't have enough time. And I'm shooting with the Arkin on 12 power. That seems to be a really good setting for. I'm aiming at 1/4 inch dots down there, and that lines up pretty well as far as the magnification and the size of the dot. It lines up very well at 100 yards. So I've settled on 12 power for today. It changes. Sometimes I'll shoot 10, 16, 24. You know, it varies. So. Keeping an eye on any pressure signs. We're looking fine. So. Need to walk around, see if I can gather up any decent brass. I found some Norma 308 already, so. All right, let me walk around, look for some brass for a minute, try to let the barrel cool down. Oh yeah, and I use, these are the 3M, I don't know what they're called, Peltor Tactical 300, the sport version. These things are amazing, by the way. This is what I hunt with also. They have the, basically the noise canceling, and then also they amplify sound until the rapport of the rifle, and then it deadens it. So these are amazing. All right, I think I'm gonna send one more 5-shot group. So I just shot that 5-shot group with the 85 grain Speer. So now we're gonna switch over to the Nosler. This is the 27.2 grain load, and then we'll take a walk down there and check it out. Found some Federal 308 brass. It's just always good to have that stuff on hand. Well, that ain't good. I hit my 1/4-inch sticker dead center. I didn't really want to do that. All right, we are done. D-U-N. D-U-N, done. It's always good to come home with more brass than you left with. Get this stuff thrown in here and then we'll go take a look, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. Try to get this off without turning off the video. Yep, liking what I'm seeing, guys and girls. I think we have found a good combination. At least on the surface, I think we've found a good combination. You know, I have no idea what these velocity numbers look like. Probably going to be not too low, but they're definitely not screaming. I think even, at least in the book velocities, with the barrel that they use, 24-inch barrel, at 28.2 grains, I think it was like over 2,900 feet per second, maybe. I could be wrong. I think it's over 29. So we're giving up, you know, some barrel length and all that. So we're giving up velocity. Plus we're starting a little bit lower. So we're not going to be too close to that. But I got to tell you, I'm really happy with that. I mean, it's, see, that was where I messed up though, because I actually shot my 1/4 inch, I mean square. I shot it straight up, my 1/4 inch dot that I was aiming at. And so then I'm trying to aim at that as my point of aim. And I'm pretty sure I did aim at these two for these last two shots. So I'm pretty sure maybe that would be a little bit tighter, you know, if I wouldn't have just hit my 1/4 inch dot right off the bat. So that could be just a little bit tighter, but either way, I really couldn't care less. I mean, we're gonna call it a day right there. That's an inch or better. That's got hunting season written all over it. The Speer, not bad, just had that one up here and then the other 4 dropped down. So that's not terrible. We'll see what the last 2 look like. And then, so that was the second group. That was the first group for the Nosler, the Partition. That's the second group. So that's 27.2 grains right there. So yeah, well, that's it and that's all. I'm gonna get all this stuff loaded up, get the targets put back, the stand put back, and then I'm out of here. So y'all stay tuned for the follow-up portion back at the house. Alrighty, so we are back at the house. Gonna go over the results of the range session with the 85 grain Speer and 85 grain Nosler Partition. So had a really good range session. Now you guys only saw the range footage that I captured. It was only for these 4 groups here, right? It was the first 2 of each bullet, and I actually had to leave the range. I got there later than I wanted to, had somewhere we had to go. Only had enough time to shoot those 4 groups, and so I actually went back the next day and shot these next 4. Conditions were almost identical, so I don't think there was anything at play there. You know, some people, depending on the conditions, the environmental conditions you're shooting in, you know, that can have an impact. But, you know, back-to-back days, weather was virtually identical, so no issues there, no concerns with that. So again, we're testing with Hodgdon Benchmark. That's been a great powder for me in the past, and different cartridges. Hornady has load data for it, so I wanted to give it a shot. I started a little bit lower
or I started at 27. The max is 28.2 grains. Started at 27. That's actually the first group for Nosler, and then that's the first group for the Speer. And the reason it's kind of funky like that is because of where my point of aim, point of impact was. You know, with this bullet powder combination for the Speer, my plan, I was actually my point of aim was here, but I hit so low, I was like, all right, I'll change it up and I'll make the bottom row Speer. So that was the first group for the Speer. And so I made a scope adjustment, and I was like, all right, I will switch over to the Nosler, and ended up, I wanted to shoot at a different dot just to be on the safe side. And so I ended up shooting that group over here. And so, yeah, I kind of had to switch back and forth. So, but that's what we're looking at. Very good range session, in my opinion, for these two bullets. The Speer, it seemed to tighten up as we went higher in charge weight. So again, we're only jumping 2/10, so that's not really that crazy. But again, relative to the overall charge weight, that's a decent percentage increase, right? That's about what you want to do. Larger case volume, something like a 30-06, you know, you're looking at probably 0.3 grain jumps, maybe a little bit higher. But with charge weights this low, I mean, 0.2 is a good increase. And so for testing purposes, and we actually tightened up the higher we went. Now, the groups really don't look that great. This first one, and then the first and the third one don't really look that amazing, but it's the second and the fourth one where you can tell, like, it's trying to group, right? We had that one that got away from us there. I'm sure it's just part of the load, right? Overall, if you just average all of it together, we go shoot a bunch of groups with that charge weight. We're probably looking inch to, you know, inch and a half performance. But then same thing on the 27.6 grain charge. You had 4 that were, you know, fairly close, and then you had 1 out to the left. These other ones didn't necessarily have that, these other 2. So probably not going to spend a ton of time with the Speer. I'll continue to test it alongside the Nosler. We're looking for a hunting load for whitetail deer and hogs for the 6 arc, and I think the 85 grain bullet option, either the Speer or the Nosler, are going to be a great choice. Slightly different construction in the Nosler. You know, it's got that partition, the piece of copper that separates that lead base. You know, kind of helps with the weight retention side of the house. Bullet penetration, that's what they're known for. They're not necessarily known as the most accurate bullets. So in terms of precision, yeah, I've never really had great luck in terms of just tack driving accuracy out of the partitions, but we had really good results with this. So 27, you know, came in just under an inch. And then on this one, I talk about it out on the range footage. I actually, on my very first shot, I hit my 1/4 inch dot. That was my point of aim. So that kind of messed me up, because then I was trying to aim at the bullet hole, right, the best I could. And I know so that was the first shot, second, third shot. And then the 4th and 5th shot, I know I was aiming at these 2 because it was a little bit darker, right? So it provided me a better point of aim. So these 2 shots, you know, would they have been slightly higher if my point of aim, you know, there's not much difference there, but would they have been slightly higher, making that group much better? I don't know, possibly. But still, you know, pretty good. Ended up measuring right at an inch. That's 27.2. And then 27.4 came in 1.00, so essentially 1 inch. And then 27.6 kind of stacked them in there really nicely. But overall, you know, just in general, right, it's good to see that the highest charge that we tested for both bullets, right, was our best 2 groups, our best groups for each. So we're going to push this a little bit higher. The manual goes up to 28.2. I don't have velocity numbers on these. and I don't have a ton of these to actually test with. I've only got 25 more that I can test with, so I really don't want to. I'd like to save at least 5 to load up to use to hunt with. So I've only got 20 to test both velocity and groups. So I don't really know if I want to work up. I might work up maybe a couple of more groups beyond this, and then if I do that, whatever is the best group overall out of those, maybe I'll load up, maybe I'll test 2 more 5-shot groups. So that'd be 10, then maybe pick the best group out of those, load up 10 to go check velocity, get an average, and then that'll leave me 5, to load up to hunt with, and just pick the group and roll with it. So that's it. Those are the results. All of this was loaded, I believe it was 2.150 was our cartridge overall length. So really good stuff. I am actually about to get ready and head to the airport. So this video is going up on, hopefully, this video is going up on Friday, May 13th. That is the plan anyway. Today's Thursday. I'm about to go jump on a plane. But wanted to get this uploaded, that way you guys can check it out and see the results that we got. So Benchmark's looking like a really promising powder. It's not the highest velocity powder, but it's still, I think, going to provide good enough velocity and obviously good enough groups for us to pick a hunting load and roll with it to test on some deer, hopefully hogs coming up this season. So that's it. That's where we're going to leave it. I got to get out of here. So we'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a good one.